In this segment, I am going to be discussing on Johane Masowe and the seventh week of Prophet Daniel, as already alluded to. A liar in Johane is the opening arbitrator, and Daniel in Johane follows up as the closing arbitrator in respect of atonement special purpose vehicle responsible of atonement. Now Elijah arbitrates for New Testament. After New Testament, we now had Daniel closing New Testament events by revelation. So Daniel in Johane at the Portsmouth is the arbitrator of Adamic humanity in respect of preserving it on earth against alienism. So Johane Masowe in the seventh week of Daniel, we continue. We now know that the Society of Jesus and the Society of St. John the Baptist or Evangelist form the basis of our Christian being as a state, kingdom, and country in Zimbabwe. What we now need to do is to proclaim our New Testament of traditional religion with the Solomonic instincts of Judeo-Israel. In Zimbabwe, our patriarchs and matriarchs witnessed Johanic configuration at Chief Nyamweda stables of Chief Chiwero in Mondoro. They also witnessed Mosaic transfiguration of Old Testament in Masowe, a glen of Chief Chiweshe, then transformation of New Old Testament to New Testament tabernacle in Glenora. Highfield, Cardinal Corridor of Gudara Jehovah, commissioned then by Chief Seke of Dungwiza. And the whole process gave birth to the Cardinal Star of State staged on our Cardinal Cloth of Matriarch Nehanda, that Cardinal Cloth, a sacred cloth we call national flag. Triumvirates were informed of New Testament dispensation in their respective fortresses. Marushanga, in a political fortress, the Presidium adopted traditional fortress. Our traditional leadership adopted, and a religious fortress, our religious leaders adopted this New Testament narrative and dispensation and ratified it as such. After the ratification of New Testament in Zimbabwe by triumviracy, we then ventured into the end-time prophecies of Johanic Daniel, putting the seventh week of Adamic humanity on earth before celestial transformation through rapture into perspective. Rapture in Zim context is no longer a rumor, as it is now openly being discussed. We argue our leadership to endorse this reality and start preparing for state rapture into the state of Israel, where the tabernacle of Jesuits is found. We had sessions and concessions and treaties signed for between our patriarchs, matriarchs, and the Holy Spirit of Puritans upon Trinitarians. To date, everybody knows that political triumvirates represented by the Presidium accepted Trinitarian practices by putting on the Shemitic gown together with the traditional triumvirates as represented by cardinal chiefs. They already endorsed Johane Masowe, but by putting on that Shemitic gown, Vekamagemenzi anemitumbi mitatu, cardinal subjects of state already built a house of cardinal parliament in Masowe fortress, the sanctuary of Masowe, and expectation is that in this parliament, house of parliament, Moses and Elijah are going to be influencing Senate as Andrew or Andrea and Ignazio influence parliament in line with the cardinal connotations on our national flag, depicting Johanic political, traditional, and religious treaties after the British Mashonaland Bond prophesied by Daniel after that Nebuchadnezzar dream. In particular, we are talking of the clay and iron fingers found on that structure. And as realized in Africa, what we now call colonialism was not by mistake. It was by that prophecy of Daniel default. So we shall be continuing along this line, where we shall be relating Zimbabwe and Britain as prophesied by Daniel as regards to the clay, representing Zimbabwe, Shekinah, motherhood, toughness, and the iron representing the British strongness. Remember, iron depicts the strong economy and the army of Europeans. So what happened is Africa as a whole is represented by clay, and Europe as a whole is represented by iron. Iron deriving itself from Roman Empire, as Roman Empire did not die completely, but it manifested into what we call mutations. So Roman Empire mutation gave birth to 10 kingdoms. Out of these 10 kingdoms, Europe was constituted. So Europe is our Japhetic jurisdiction, and Africa is our Hamitic jurisdiction of Ham. Ham would then be represented by a clay pot, with the Japhet being represented by a sword, because Japhet simply means, in Noah's terms, it simply means the might of Noah or the strength of Noah, with the Ham meaning the heart of Noah, which means the heart and the tabernacle of Noah is found in Africa. The tabernacle of Noah constitutes our Shekinah motherhood, and the DNA of Noah would then constitute our Shekinah fatherhood. So in this case here, after the Bismarck event of 1884, Bismarck Declaration of apportioning Africa would, and Europe would then constitute Daniel's prophecy as Africa clay, and Europe would become iron, as derived from the iron of Roman Empire. So in our case as Zimbabwe, we consider British Empire as our mighty, through Cecil John Rhodes, a Native Protection Order of 1890, and we represent Shekinah motherhood of Britain through a facility between Queen Elizabeth and Mbuyaneanda, the Shekinah motherhood and Shekinah matriarch respectively. That is why Mbuyaneanda instructed us to accept and give hospitality to Cecil John Rhodes as prophesied in Masowe. So Daniel's prophecy is beginning to manifest. So we must understand Daniel's prophecy as the will of God. So let us then reconcile ourselves with the Britain as such, and then proceed to incorporate a Shemitic priesthood of Abrahamic priesthood upon Zion, or the Mount of Moriah, where we find Melchizedek altar represented by Rock Moriah upon Zion. I thank you. To be continued when and if necessary.